Is 100,000 Vechain enough? Let's discuss it. It's 2021, and as we're all aware by now, the cryptocurrency space is seeing an absolutely insane influx of capital in the past year or so. Since the Bitcoin halving of 2020, the space has seen some massive growth, and many cryptos are seeing all-time high after all-time high for the past year or so. The entire crypto space has reached a total market cap of well over $1 trillion, and since February this has almost doubled to 1.8 trillion before a recent correction. It seems as though the market's temporary pullback has ended, and Bitcoin is again challenging its all-time high. If this is the case and another all-time high for Bitcoin is seen, another huge run-up in price for most coins will likely occur, and Vechain is most likely to be one of the cryptos that will benefit from the continued upward price action in the coming months. Once we begin to reach peak euphoria in the bull run, massive amounts of parabolic activity will likely be seen in the market, and it seems very likely that Vechain could reach $1 this year once the market starts to pump as a whole. A 20x from the current valuation is easily possible, as these sorts of moves happen in the crypto space every single day, and with a crypto with as much use case and potential as Vechain, we're discussing whether 100,000 Vechain is enough. Make sure to watch the video till the end for all the essential information. This is not financial advice and is for entertainment purposes only. We always stress that you do your own due diligence. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. Vechain is a project that has truly massive potential in the future. Vechain is aiming to target the supply chain management industry, with the global supply chain as a whole currently being valued at around $50 trillion. Vechain has an absolutely huge amount of potential to take a good share of this market cap, which will also likely grow rapidly in the future as the global market grows. When you consider all of the components of the supply chain, it's easy to see how much utility that Vechain can provide if it aims to improve these systems that are currently in place. Vechain is a blockchain protocol that is designed to interface with and enhance the current supply chain by using blockchain technology combined with RFID tags for use in supply chain tracking. These tags in combination with Vechain and the blockchain can be used to track various information to do with shipments that are using Vechain, which has a massive amount of potential to improve the supply chain of any adopters of Vechain. Various information can be tracked about the suppliers being interfaced with the Vechain protocol, including geolocation, the amount, weight and quality of the goods, and the conditions that it's being stored in, just to name a few. When you consider the amount of utility this could provide for businesses to track their supply chain, it could easily allow them to increase the efficiency of their supply chain substantially, or just improve various elements and provide utility that is not currently available. The records are stored immutably on the Vechain blockchain, meaning that the tracking information is secure and cannot be altered or incorrect. This also means that anyone using Vechain will vastly reduce the amount of human error in their supply chain, with every shipment tracked effectively and accurately on the blockchain. When you combine this utility with being able to track the conditions of produce such as food, you start to realize the utility that Vechain can truly provide. Because Vechain can monitor the conditions that food is being stored in, the inefficiencies or problems with the supply chain with food being compromised can easily be found and corrected. This could potentially save millions or billions of dollars of inefficiency in the supply chain for adopters of Vechain, which is a massive reason to be bullish on the protocol. The amount of utility and potential that Vechain has as it gets adopted by large businesses is massive, and the smart contract layer of the protocol provides further utility that can be offered. dApps or decentralized apps can be created that can access the data of the blockchain, and this has a large number of benefits in itself. One example of a dApp that could be created is to allow customers of restaurants to view the life cycle of the food that they're about to eat when deciding where to get food. If customers could see exactly where their food has come from, been produced, what treatment it had and received in transition, and also the quality of where it's been stored on the supply chain, this may positively influence customers to choose a vendor with this sort of transparency. Another example of a dApp may be to allow customers to view the supply chain of a given shipment before it arrives at a vendor and automatically purchase or order a product to their home without having to wait for the product to come into stock at a given vendor, such as Amazon or ASOS. This could be an incredible innovation in the future and could allow for individuals to order and get products without having to constantly monitor a store, but instead set up and execute a smart contract where the product becomes known to the Vechain supply chain tracking. In this instance, it seems likely that this would allow the user to constantly monitor the location of their product, without having to wait by the door for the postman, not knowing if their package may or may not arrive the day before the deadline. When you consider all this utility, it's easy to imagine that Vechain has an enormous amount of benefits for those adopting the protocol, and the next logical step for these sorts of innovations would be that businesses and consumers start to prefer companies that offer this sort of utility. Trustless systems are what cryptocurrency is all about, as all transactions are decentralized and available for viewing on the blockchain. The transparency and power of the blockchain is one of the greatest selling points, and offering trustless systems to other businesses and consumers would most likely lead to others preferring to work with those that have adopted Vechain. This is because with Vechain there's a great deal of transparency and utility provided to others, and allows for businesses to focus on more important things, such as improving their business, whilst also improving their supply chain and offering utility to themselves and others. Vechain as a status symbol or a stamp of trust to others interfacing with the business that has adopted Vechain is a likely final outcome due to the transparency it offers as a utility protocol. This is a massive reason to be bullish on Vechain, because as its network effect increases, it's easy to imagine that other businesses and consumers would prefer Vechain users to not. When you look at Vechain objectively for its potential in the future, it has the two key pillars we always look for on this channel, which are a strong use case and adoption. These are so important because without them, it's unlikely that the protocol will be a huge success in the future. This is because without both of these elements, the longevity of a crypto is unlikely. A strong use case refers to the actual utility of the token and what it offers to its potential market in terms of use in its market. In the example of Vechain, it has a strong real-world use case and has a large number of utilities, which is obvious considering everything that we've discussed so far. This means that Vechain has a massive amount of potential in the future if it receives adoption, since its utility is extremely clear and applies to real-world problems that are currently being faced in the world, which are only set to increase in the future. The second pillar, adoption, is arguably the most important element, as without people actively using the cryptocurrency, the only investment will likely be speculative retail investment, which doesn't often propel the success of a cryptocurrency in the long term. The adoption for Vechain is extremely promising, as it's already receiving amazing use for its actual use case in the world by top companies. All over the world, Vechain is being adopted for its utility and already receives use by companies such as Walmart, BMW, H&M and health services such as the NHS in the UK. When you start to look at the adoption that Vechain has, it's already got a massive list of partners already using the protocol, and this is a reason to be super bullish on Vechain in the future. As it grows and gets more adoption by top companies, the network effect for Vechain will continue to grow the protocol, and as the circulating supply decreases due to adoption by massive companies, the scarcity of the Vechain token will drive the price up over the long term. When you consider all of this, you can then take a look at whether 100,000 Vechain is enough. Depending on your personal goals as an investor, you can easily calculate the value of your bag by the price targets that will likely be hit by Vechain in the future. 100,000 Vechain is currently worth around $6,000 at the current entry point, and is still a relatively good entry point considering the future of the crypto. With a market cap of $4 billion, there is still a massive amount for Vechain to grow. It's easy to imagine that Vechain will hit $1 in the current bull run due to the sheer amount of utility and potential it has for the future, combined with the speculative market parabola that is going to occur as the bull run hits its peak later this year. If that was the case, 100,000 Vechain would be worth $100,000, which is a great target for many investors to aim for. If Vechain hit anywhere between $5 to $10 in the future or during the bull run due to a massive euphoric pump, that could be anywhere between $500 to $1 million respectively. Those are some serious gains on a $6,000 investment in the future. If you're to invest $10,000 or more into Vechain at the current price point, there's likely still time to get some great gains before the bull run is over. For most investors, a 10 to 20x from the current price would be a fantastic return in the next year, and it seems likely that this could occur in the later stages of the bull run. So what do you think of Vechain? Does it have the potential to hit the heights that so many believe that it can? Drop a comment down below and share your price target for Vechain, along with the reasons behind it. We're always interested to know what you think. If you'd like to support the channel more directly, you can sign up to our Patreon via the link in the description below, where you can get access to our private Discord. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.